Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you had a good holiday weekend and that you got plenty of rest. Me, uh, yeah, we spent the day pretty much resting, so it was good. But today I wanted to do a paperclip. A clipboard for my office. I'm finding the need to have something very close with things ideas I could just hang up. And I figured I'm gonna make one of these. Now there's like a ton of videos on this stuff going back way back when. I think I'm just gonna get a little bit of each video and just make mine, or maybe I'll just wing it. I did already do a little template for this. I know this board is 9 inches wide, so I just took this and tried to measure it as close as possible, and I'm just going to use this to cut my pattern paper because I don't want to damage the pattern paper. So that's that. I'm going to cut this paper down to fit, and I'm going to cut it because this is going to be my background. Isn't it pretty? I was hesitant on using my pretty papers, and I'm like, well, why not? It's for me. So I'm gonna cut this 9 inches, maybe just a tad bit more, just in case. And then this cut, the long cut, should be 11 and what was it, 13/16, I believe. But I'm just going to cut it a little bit bigger just because I want to make sure I'm not missing any. I can always trim, but you can't put back paper that you cut. So this is going to go here. And yes, it's still a tad bit bigger. It's about 1/8 bigger, so I'll trim that down. This is going to go there. So let's trim this a little bit more. Just a little 1/8 of an inch take off. And that should be good. Yes. Okay. Now for the top. I'm going to do the top before I even think about trimming the bottom to fit. And what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to put this template here. And I'm gonna trace it and I'll leave it just a little bit higher, just because I think I cut it a little too much. So we're gonna trace it and make sure it's lined up properly. Now, if you're good with your numbers, you could go ahead and get the exact measurements and do it. The only problem that I noticed with these clipboards is that these are the dollar store ones. And all of these are not perfectly centered. It's a little crooked in some ways. And you can really tell that it's crooked. So from what I've seen, your best bet is cutting it down and then getting as close to it as you can, and it should look fine. Besides, it's gonna have so much going on that nobody's gonna notice anything on top. So I'm just gonna leave it a little bit bigger, and you can always erase those lines. And then if I have to trim more, then I will, but I'd rather start off this way. Better to be safe than sorry, right? And then we're gonna come and cut this. It's funny, as a crafter, you want everything in your space to be pretty. Oh, I think that came out pretty good. Now I have to trim it just a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure this is really close to the edge. And I'm just probably going to use my score tool just to see where everything lines up and see where I have to trim. And I can actually feel that now, so that's going to work. All right. Let's cut that down. Okay. And then here, it actually starts off fairly well, and then this is where it was crooked. So let's do that. And now let's put that back in place. And that's a much better fit. Okay. So let's see now at the bottom. And it's about also 1/8 of an inch bigger at the bottom. So let's just trim that down a little bit. Okay. And then we should be good to go. Perfect. Now for the edges, since this is like a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch round, I'm gonna use my 1/4 inch corner rounder and get all of these matching nicely. Okay, so we have that. Look how pretty that is. We can always come back with the eraser and just take that line out if that bothers you. And then we can save this for another day, which I don't think I'll ever use because, again, every board is different. So now let's see how that fits. And it fits well. Okay, let me move this out the way for a second. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to glue this spot first. Just opening up my glue. This thing is always clogging. Okay, let's try this again. Let's make sure everything is nice and level. Everything looks good. And we're just gonna add some glue here. And then we're just gonna hold it there for a second. Just really let that tack on. And we're gonna do the same thing to this side. Okay. And once you feel that it's it took enough, then you can go ahead and just glue the whole thing down. And really concentrate on those edges because that's where it'll pull first before it comes apart anywhere else. That's what's going to come up. Alright, let's go closer. And really fill that up. Okay. And now let's glue that all down. So pretty. Oh, I'm gonna love this one. Now, already you can see that you can add different things to this. You can put something like that, or you can put it on the side, or maybe even take these and put a background on it and just bring those down the side of this. I don't know yet, but we're gonna do our pocket. And the pocket, I'm gonna make it out of this paper, just because my office has a lot of teal, so I want to incorporate that teal. So I'm just gonna cut this in half, and then we'll work it from there. So let's go and take half of this. And I think I'm just going to use that one. Let's get rid of this yellow. Okay. And I think we're going to go ahead and trim it just a little bit. If this is 9, I'm going to cut it, I think, at 10. And then we can just do a 1/2 inch score all the way around it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do a 1/2 inch. And we're going to do a 1/2 inch on this side as well. And then again over here. I think that's going to be just enough to add here and still not making it too bulky. Okay. We're going to just take off those corners. I wasn't too careful because at the end we have to quarter around that also so it could fit on the bottom part. And then we're just going to score these, make them nice and crisp. And then let's see how that looks. You know what? Let me just corner around this. There we go. And all right. See, I love all the touches of the gold. It just makes me happy. I like looking at it. It's so pretty. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue this down. And I'm going to start by gluing the bottom. Okay. All right. Oh, I got glue there. That's okay. I'll use my eraser to take that off. All right. Let's maneuver that into place. And make sure that it's all even. All right. That's good. And let's hold it there for a second. You can even get your bone folder and really press down on that. Get a nice good seal. And then we could come around here and do the same thing. These two sides I'll do at the same time because we already secured the bottom. And bring that all the way to the top. Get a nice good seal. And then we can burnish that. Make sure it really sticks. And now we can decorate a little bit. You can add something to it, like I had a border around here. Let's say something like this, but a different color. Oh, that might look pretty, but maybe in a pink like this or purple like that. Yeah, we could try that. And then we can add some of our designs. I kind of like that. And then I was thinking that we can get some gold paper and make like a strip, or make like little cut out little squares and put it something like that. Oh, I love that. And then we can always add some ribbon here we want. We can even put this on the side. Let me find a paper that matches, that we can do something like this too. I like that idea. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I found these pretty little dies, and I think these are the ones from Crafter's Companion. I bought those in one of their subscription boxes. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these out just so I can have that cute design. I really like that. And then I believe I have another die that has a stitching that might fit this one, so then we could do a gold background on this one as well. So let me get those cut out. I'm going to cut 3 of the gold, and I'm going to cut all these out with this other one, and then we could layer them and just try to make put them down as evenly as possible. I think that's going to look really pretty. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, so I'm so excited about this. Look how pretty that looks. Now, the only thing that I'm struggling with is, should I add a little bit of, make another one of these, but in gold, and add it down there, like just a trim, or is that going to be too much? Maybe we should just try it. All right, let's try it. Why not? If we don't like it, we can always save it for another day. Okay, so we're gonna cut this paper. Hopefully this works. And we're gonna cut it at 9 inches. Right there. Okay. And then we can go ahead and die cut it. Oops. And I'm gonna cut this one a little bit longer, just because I want it to hang off the bottom. Let's see. Just a tad. Make sure that's even. We can always straighten it out if it's not. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to run it through one side first, and then run it through another, just because I'm using a smaller die cutting machine, and it's not going to take the whole thing. So we're going to try it, and then we're going to flip it and do the other side. All right. And we should be good to go. Okay, so now we have that. And what I'm wanting to do is maybe layer it. And we could just cut it down a little bit more. And let's see how that's gonna look. What do we think? Layering it? Or is that a little too much? Or should we just do the gold? Oh, that looks nice too. Oh no. Let's see, is it gonna be too much? We could just do a little bit showing. Let's trim it down first. Okay. And I'm gonna be as careful as I can be. Just cutting it a little bit bigger. And then we'll see. See, the only thing I'm not liking, if I'm gonna be honest, is the way this part layers. It's not that pretty to me. How about if we just put everything else together and then we'll figure that part out. All right, let's glue this one down first. I'm gonna lightly glue it. And then we can glue that down there. Okay, let that dry up before we do anything else with it. And then we're going to just glue these guys down. Let's see. That's good. Okay. There were some people that made like a wider pocket so they can put their letters or bills or whatever. It's like an accordion pocket. But I don't need that. This is just to store a couple of things. All right. So we have them. And I would just put this centered and then more or less figure out where this one's going to go. And then you could put the other ones to the side. And I think it's going to go just about there. Let me go over it just a little bit. And just place it to where I think it should go. That's pretty good. And then you can place these next to it. Let's see, maybe there. Is that good? Yeah, as good as it's gonna get. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is handmade after all. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Maybe there. Yeah, it's pretty good. And now let's put this part. So then we can see let me lift this up a little bit. Maybe there. Yeah, good enough. Okay. So we have that. How pretty. I'm loving this. Okay, so now we have to decide. Are we going to go with the gold and maybe just trim it up a little more higher? Or are we going to go with the teal? Or maybe we could put the gold on top. I don't know. I'm kind of liking the gold. Let me trim this down a little bit more and let me see. The only bad thing is that I'm nervous about it getting all dinged up. But then again, I can always cut another one and put it on top. So that shouldn't be a deal breaker either. Let's see. Right there. All right, let's try it. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, but how am I gonna add the glue without it? You know what? Let me find some score tape. Oh, maybe this guy. All right, let's try it. Okay. Oh, look how pretty. And that's our board. Love, love, love it. I'm gonna see if I get a dangle going or maybe some ribbon so it could just be soft. I don't know, but so far I'm loving it. So I'm gonna wait until the glue dries so then I can take off some of these spots that I have going on. But this is my board. I'll get some pictures when it's all dolled up. Yay, I'm so excited. All right, guys, I hope you like my little project. I know it was a little bit all over the place, but today I was learning with you because I was just winging it. All right, guys, have a great one. And I do suggest that template because it was a lot easier. I couldn't figure out how I was going to get that cut, and that was the easiest way to do it. So I hope this helps you guys, and maybe you guys will make some too. I know a bunch of you have already done stuff like this, but this is my take on it. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.